want to talk to you a little bit about this trailer that I've been using around the farm. It's upside down at the moment, but I bought this thing. See, it's 172. I bought it at a farm auction. I had to put new wheels on it, and then I was dumping it, and it was collapsing. It's just plastic. I've been using it to load dirt, and then I go to dump it, and it was collapsing. So I put this wood 2x3 brace around it, which really was pretty easy. I've got a little plate there to hold the corner together. And then I made a mistake and it kind of collapsed further. This is just plastic. Really, to load dirt is really more than it's really designed for. Another thing I had to do, I put this chain on here to keep it from dumping without it's supposed to dump. It's got a dumping mechanism, but that's unreliable. So I made a mistake and I collapsed it. It bent here. So I went to the barn. I got two pieces of, I wanted 3/4 inch plywood. I could almost show you I've got one in here, but I didn't want to use it because it's kind of big. I didn't want to use this wafer board. That's the right size, but it'll deteriorate in the weather. But I had this one here, and I just didn't want to use it because it's too big. I didn't want to. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing you're dealing with this farmer. So I found two pieces of plywood, 1/2 inch plywood, that's almost worthless. Really close to worthless in value in a way, and yet not deteriorated. I don't know if it's exterior because it's been laying around outdoors. Then I stained it with this stain here that I paid $30 for, and right away it started deteriorating. And what did I do with that? Oh yeah. So I had to peel this off the top of it, which is not the first time I've peeled something off. But it kind of works. It works. It even dried and everything. So now I'm refastening this. I had to go to Lowe's and buy bolts that were longer so they'd go through. And they didn't have shiny bolts on this side, so I had to buy these hot dipped, which was more. It was $20 altogether. So now it's like it's done in a manner of speaking. I mean, I had to cut these sheets, stain them, and drill them and everything. That's all done. But I still have to run these through from the underneath and then bolt them. And everything takes time, and I was going under here. And I got this to run them through because they don't always line up right. There's a darn wasp looking for a home under there. And but I think this is really going to help. And it's, I like it. It's lightweight. And when you're shoveling dirt, you don't want, I've got a bigger trailer, but you don't want a big, it's too much shoveling. And also I can pull it with this little tractor too. I don't have to, when I get dirt, I use the bigger tractor. So it can, because it has to go up the hill and what all. This one doesn't have the traction. But when I'm just doing little stuff around the yard, I can use it behind that little lawnmower tractor. So that's my story today. But I guess the moral of this story is two things. One is, maybe it's three things. One is, when you buy something at the farm auction, if you get a low price on it, you're probably going to have to repair it, because that's why the price was low. If you don't have to repair it, they're going to pay almost full price for it. Two, when you go to repair it, you don't want to spend any money on it. Now, these tires didn't cost a heck of a lot. They're pretty good tires. Got them at Harbor Freight. And the whole thing, the steel and everything. So, and the wood didn't cost anything to speak of. Like I say, $20 for this. I'll tell you, I was working on this. I got an idea to mow my ravine, and it's not finished yet. That needs to be hung from a cable, and then I could mow my ravine with the tractor, and just the tractor would hold it in the air and where I want it. Well, one of those two tires, I don't know, was the front one. I think it was the back ones. I spent way too much money on them things. I think I spent $25 a piece. I don't know what was wrong with me when I did that. Something was wrong with me. But anyway, most of the time I showed you already before, I had to put this on here. I shut it off before I unplug it, or before I plug it in, I shut it off, because otherwise it burns the plug out. And my poor truck, I don't want to show you my poor truck. I started working on it 2 years ago on the interior, and it's not finished. And that tractor over there, it was acting funny yesterday. And I don't know for sure. It's carburetor, I don't know. It's possible, maybe a little water in the gas or something, and it'll run now, I don't know. But there's always something. Also, I changed out my delivery. This was a delivery box, and they wouldn't always put it in there, and then the lid broke. So now, and then I built this kind of doghouse animal shelter. The dogs won't go in it, and I don't really need it for goats at the moment. So I turned it into our delivery place. That's my story. So that was amazing. I didn't have to re-drill any of those holes, and I didn't have to hold it from this side. I was able to do all my work from this side without, an extra pliers. And I was going to say I was one washer short, but then I found a washer, and it just needs to go right here. Sit it down. Get that nut back. That nut's stuck in there. I'll put the washer on like that, and I'll put the nut on like this. And then I'll just put it all the way in like this. Here's the hard part, getting it to go like that. Oh, rats! Then I went the wrong direction. So now I gotta restart it. There it is. Now I'll go the right direction, maybe. Let's see. There it is. Yay. See, it's still pretty light to where I can pick it up and move it around like this. That's helpful when you're like backing up. You can just position it and then back to it. So I've decided I'm kind of going to rob all the dirt down where the dirt's good. I'm trying to use that pond dirt, but it's really not very good. But I'll show you where my good dirt is, and then I figured out how to use this better. Lower these teeth a little bit so they disturb the soil a little bit, and then pull this in towards the tractor so that this edge bites, and then drag it, and then at the end go backwards with it so that I don't run over any of it. That is to say, I'll show you when we get down there, but I have to shovel it by hand, so I want it all loose. So you see, it's all a pile of loose, and it's not been driven over. See, there's tire tracks back there, but this hasn't been driven over because the last thing I did was push it back, push it that way. And I noticed I kind of made a divot there, but I'm thinking I'm just going to take all this dirt. I've tried to grow stuff down here. It doesn't grow very good. You can't count on it being either a swamp or a drought. And it's hard to get to water it. And Another thing I was talking about with this little trailer, it's easier at this point to disconnect it and just put it where I want it and then back the tractor up to it. I guess that took about 15 minutes. At any rate, I've had enough digging. Could put a little more in, but I don't know, I might throw a couple more shovels in. I'm going to try and show you something about digging if I can with one hand. So, where's my shovel? Okay. So now see, this is where I've scraped. So I should be able to go right under and get a shovel full. Alright, now watch this. See all these sticks and twigs and stuff is in there? It stops. And sometimes you don't even get that much. Let's make a liar out of me. Oh well. This is my favorite part, riding up the hill. I don't even have to put my foot on the gas because it's got pedal lock. So salesman called it cruise control, but it's really not cruise control. It's just pedal lock. Whew. But it's better than walking. I have to be sure I don't walk very much. It wears me out. Here's some dirt I bought, and it seems really good, but it's so fine. It's so fine and it's so brown. But I was going to say it doesn't have any organic material in it either, but there is this. But mostly there's nothing compared to what I've dug up. But it seems pretty good, I guess. I bought a load of it anyway, because it's hard for me to shovel this much.